Let's go. Welcome back to the Squishy Sport Podcast, bringing you my review of the Ashes Game 2. The Kangaroos retain the Ashes. They're 2-0 up. They cannot be beaten this series. And I'll also be reviewing the latest weekend of Pac Championship games between New Zealand and Tonga, and also Australia and New Zealand in the women's as well. We have our finals next weekend set for the Pacific Championships in Sydney at Combank Stadium in Parramatta. New Zealand will be playing Samoa like they did a few weeks ago, and Australia will be having a rematch with New Zealand. Absolutely cannot wait to watch those. I believe the start times is like in Queensland 12:30 kickoff, or so 1:30 local, and I think the next game is a 4 o'clock kickoff. I may be mistaken, but both those games should be absolute blockbusters given from what we're seeing in the last few weeks. Cannot wait. Of course, guys, if you like the content, you like what you see, don't forget to give it a massive like, and massive subscribe as well. Helps boost the channel hugely early on, especially if you like what you see with the content. I keep producing it every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for you. Tuesday, generally have a rugby league video for you, giving you my games review, or it's just talking about something in general. Wednesday, I'll have my sporting news, Squishy Sports Report, giving you my latest sporting news from around the globe, whether it's golf, whether it's darts, whether it's all your American sports. All of it's covered on the Squishy Sports Podcast. And of course, Thursday, my favorite video of the week, the Red Zone Report. At the moment, previewing the NFL for the coming weeks. We have just finished NFL Week 9. NFL Week 10 just around the corner, halfway through the regular season. If you're not a part of the Red Zone Report, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Get a part of it. Get involved. The best pets are absolutely humming at the moment. All right, I'm going to start with the Ashes Game 2. So this one was played at Hill Dickinson Stadium in Liverpool. So this is Everton's new stadium that just come out in the UK, and it looked absolutely ripper. Had a really good mate of mine actually go to that game who does reside in the UK, and he said it's absolutely class. It looks unreal. Looks like the atmosphere is just perfect. Perfect for a football game, perfect for a footy game. I was very jealous I wasn't there. The English definitely turn it on when it comes to sporting events. Afternoon kickoff. There was a little bit of rain around. It didn't affect things whatsoever. The English fans got right into it, and I want to start with England. So obviously the final score was a 14-4 in this one. Look, it was a 12:30 kickoff here where I am at night, and I've seen better games of footy. I've seen a lot better games of footy. This was not up to sort of international standard, not even up to top 8 NRL standard. Honestly, felt like, I don't even know what it sort of was. It was just felt like a bit of a grind most of the game, honestly. I want to start with England, though, because despite them losing by 10, got to remember, guys, they were 16.5, 18.5 point dogs in this one here. Coming off a pretty good thrashing in game 1, 26-6. I get it, they only scored 4 points, but I want to talk more about their effort, because they kept the Kangaroos to 14 points, and the effort in this game was just so much better from the English. Just way better all around, physicality wise. They were in it right from the. They were involved in it right from the kickoff. You could tell they meant business. They could tell they were not happy with the way that they performed last week, and they really wanted to put some pride in that jersey. And I think that's exactly what they did. I get it. The scoreline doesn't probably dictate that 14-4, but if you just watch how the game actually went, this first half here, they put Australia under a lot of pressure. They made them feel very, very uncomfortable with their game and what their game was actually doing. They weren't producing a whole lot, the Kangaroos, and I do believe that was back off the fact that England were putting a lot of pressure on them defensively, getting up in their faces. They sort of got in their faces really early on. They sort of Harry Grant, a little bit of a scuffle early on the ground. We had Tino and Dom Young go to the bin, which I thought was just atrocious, honestly. Like, come on, Grant Atkins. Like, we're talking about an NRL referee, a guy who's refereed some really big games before. Just let the boys play. Like, this is like, we talk about this in Origin and Grand Finals, like, kind of like not let the rules slide, but just let it, just bring it back a little bit, get a bit more physical, and just sort of let it slide. And you just want to see that from that Ashes game, honestly. And it was just like, come on, man. Like, It was just a little bit of a scuffle. There was no punches thrown or anything, and for them to have two in the bin early on after 3 minutes, I was just like, come on, is that really setting the tone for the game of what you want here? And, I mean, it kind of did, I feel like, in the end, because it was just a bit of a blasé game. It still remained physical early on. They got in Harry Grant's face plenty. There was another little scuffle. Harry Grant looked a bit bamboozled early on for a guy that's really sort of quite a quality 9. Really looked bamboozled out there. And I said, that's all credit to England. I said, Dom Young, he got binned early on. But it's kind of one of those things of it's 12 on 12 and, you know, it happens from backing up your teammate or something. I kind of don't mind it. Like, I saw it with, I remember Game 3 in State of Origin back in 2022 when Matt Burton and Dan Gagai went to the bin. Dan Gagai went to the bin because Matt Burton charged Daly Cherry Evans, I think it was, or Kalen Ponga maybe, and Dan Gagai completely backed them up. And I'll never forget when I was at that game. It was obviously at Suncorp. And Dan Gagai gets binned, right? Home team player gets binned. Usually you'd see a big boo. He was running off and he was getting huge cheers and applause. Like, go, your mate, like, that is, you're protecting your mate, you're protecting your state, you're protecting your jersey. It's awesome to see. And you kind of got that vibe from England early on that, and the fans started to get involved where, you know what, maybe we're in this. Like, maybe we should get up for this. Like, maybe we've got a little bit of a sniff here. And they went into halftime 4-4. Like, it was literally 2 penalty goals apiece. Pretty even game in my opinion. Both had good chances in the first half there. Obviously, we know Kangaroos scored 2 tries in the second half to sort of peel away a little bit, but it was not any easy feat for the Kangaroos in this one here. And I mentioned last week how bloody poor the English forward pack was last week. It was absolutely shocking. You had Havard and Lees starting in the forward pack last week. Havard had 5 runs, 37 metres. Matty Lees had 6 runs for 36 metres. So you had 11 runs for 73 metres between your 2 starting props last week in that test. I thought Alex Walmsley was quite good last week, but what a world of difference 1 week makes. Just absolutely incredible. Just getting up the stats exactly now. Mike McMeekin ended up sort of starting in the front row for England. Matty Lees also started again. Mike McMeekin, 15 runs, 111 metres. Matty Lees, 11 runs for 97 metres. Over 200 metres from your starting forwards there. Over double what you had the week before. Over double the runs as well. And you could clearly see those starting to get more up the field. They could put more bombs up, you know, with Harry Smith. Put a lot more pressure on sort of Nwanga Nitawase, Reece Walsh as well. There were a few drop balls, a few good chances for England to sort of score off the back of it. Just couldn't quite capitalise. England did make some changes late in this team. So we were sort of expecting from the rumours. We did have AJ Brimson. Obviously, he plays in the NRL for the Titans. He did start fullback for Jack Wellesby. Harry Smith ended up starting for Mikey Lewis in the 7. I still would have put George Williams sort of in the 7. Like, I've seen him play 7 for the Raiders. I know Harry Smith, he's a in and out 7, but I don't know. When I think of George Williams, I think he's a bit older. You probably just want a bit more mature player in your 7 role. Harry Smith is a little bit younger. I think they could have probably swapped them around. Mikey Lewis ended up starting on the bench. And then another really key involvement. Jez Liddon started. I really do like him. Bit of pace in the middle there, out of number 9 to start. And then Morgan Smithies was on the bench as well. I thought he was absolutely immense off the bench. Obviously, he's been in the NRL campaign for a couple of years now. He's used to sort of the pace. Obviously, we knew we had an Australian ref, Grant Atkins, reffing this game. We knew the game was going to be a tiny bit faster in this one with the play to ball speeds, that sort of thing. And I thought Morgan Smithies really held well to the task and really got involved. 10 runs, 64 metres off the bench. He ended up playing, it says 60 minutes, which is a crazy amount of time. Hang on, just have a quick drink. Shout out BSC, by the way, for the electrolytes. Just a lot more quality from the English and the forwards there. Like, very similar minutes in the starting props compared to last week, but as I said, over double the amount of runs and over double the amount of meters, and just makes such a difference to the team. Still not a lot of meters out of the back five there. Like Bremo, 123 meters, usually clocking close to probably 200 in the NRL. Dom Young, 14 runs, 104. Herbie, 16 runs, 114. Generally, you see a bit more. Probably expected a bit better from Jake Wardle as well. Just couldn't get too much sort of space. 76% completion rate, which is probably a little bit below par. If I'm looking at sort of last week, I think 72 last week. What did they do exactly? So they went 26 to 36 last week, and they went 32 to 42 this week. So it's had 10 errors again, but they had more sets. So this week they had more runs. They had more run meters. They had more tackle breaks as well than the Kangaroos. Very, very much closer in the average set distances. 35.6 to 38 this week compared to last week, which was 33 compared to nearly 48. So got involved a lot better defensively as well, England, as they're keeping Kangaroos to just 14 points, despite how talented this Kangaroos backline is. And obviously the play to ball speed was a bit faster for the Kangaroos, and England managed to react pretty well to that one there. So big shout out to England defensively and just as an effort. They responded really, really well. Didn't get the win, obviously, and they can't win the Ashes now, but I think they can take a lot of pride heading to Game 3. I would not be surprised to see if Game 3 is even closer. I know they're going to be having debutants again for Game 3, similar to the weekend gone. I know Kangaroos will as well. Do the Shackles open for Game 3 for both sides? I'm not quite sure. I haven't checked the weather yet. That one's at Headingley in Leeds, but I would expect England to actually go one better, I think, in sort of effort here. I know Sean Wayne, the coach of England, he was just distraught. He was so heartbroken with this loss. And I think they'll react to that in a positive way, England, this weekend. I don't think they'll actually falter from the fact that the series is gone already. I think it's the last game of the Ashes. It's the first Ashes we've had in, 22 years or something. I think they'll want to finish it off on a high note. Kangaroos, they may have had a little bit of a celebration that Saturday night. How they sort of look at this week is a bit of a weird one because it's sort of like a dead rubber. They'll probably start debutants. They'll probably put Blake Brayley in, maybe put Jacob Preston in, maybe Ethan Strange off the bench. We just don't quite know, but really, really happy with England's efforts there. But I must say, on attack, they are looking woeful. Sorry to say. I talk about the effort defensively and just physicality. Man, the attack is just brutal. I could say they looked like scoring a couple times. I know Dom Young, he nearly scored early on. But, man, it's just looking brutal. I don't know whether it's sort of Harry Smith, he's just getting used to the English side. They just weren't creating opportunities. They just sort of weren't linking well with AJ a little bit. I don't know. They're not running onto the ball very well. They're not sort of getting that tunnel ball really well done. They're not sort of running at the line and then sort of passing it at the back. It's sort of just like catch, pass to your center or winger. Doesn't really leave them a whole lot of space and running with momentum, I think. And you just think, Herbie, he's getting 16 runs, somewhat decent ball, but 114 meters. Usually, if he's wearing Dolphins gear in NRL, he's probably clocking over 150 meters in a game like that. Like Jake Wardle, 14 runs, 92 meters, just not a lot of space to move around. It felt like it was close, but this felt like there's a lot of things that England to work on before the World Cup. I think it's next year. That's in England as well, which should be good. One line break the whole game, and that was by Dom Young, and that was nothing really produced from that one. I think it was a good try-saving tackle from Reece Walsh. Tom Johnston and Dom Young, they had 17 tackle breaks between each other, which is really good. This Kangaroos defense held solid, kept them tryless, but they slipped off a few tackles for sure. Dom Young, he's always hot and cold. I think he's been quite solid these two games, in all honesty. He's obviously returning to the Knights, or still being at the Knights next year, which I think they've got a little bit of excitement going on there, which is cool to see. Herbie, you always get the best ever out of him. He's the best center in the world, in my opinion. I don't know how he didn't get Dally M Center of the Year. I get it, he was injured, but bloody hell, he's so good. He just needed more. He just needed a better ball. He just needed more space. But yeah, as I said, overall solid by England defensively, physicality. Just the attack is a lot to work on before sort of this time next year when it comes to the World Cup. Scoreless in the second half. As I said, it was 4-4 going into halftime of this one here. I thought Callum Watkins on the second row, I thought he was really solid for England. He had 12 runs, 91 metres. I think he had a bunch of tackles. Where are we? 33 tackles, 1 miss. So he nearly had the most tackles for England. Morgan Knowles had 41 tackles. He had 5 missed, but bloody hell, that's a lot of tackles in the middle there. Morgan Smithies, 27 tackles as well. Just really solid. If you gave them a couple more games, if they had like a warm-up game, I just feel like their attack would be better. They're just not quite gelling on attack, and honestly, it wasn't really many times where I was like, oh, England are really looking good here. They're about to score and really sort of break through. Just felt like the only time they potentially were going to score was off a drop kick, like a big drop bomb. But as I said, they got into better field position, which allowed them to do that. So they were giving themselves opportunities. They just weren't doing a lot from the opportunities. Off to the Kangaroos, and jeez, oh god, from the number 1 team in the world, they're going to be World Cup favourites next year. They retain the Ashes. Jeez, you expect better, in my opinion. Lost possession battle 47%, 25 out of 36 completion rate, 69%. Last week they went 24 out of 36, so they completed one more set than they did last week. Had the same amount of sets. What is going on? It just seems like you just like kind of scratch your head because it's like they've only played 2 games together. These guys like your Munster and Cleary never played with each other really. Reece Walsh, second game as a Kangaroo. Like you've got 3 Queenslanders and a New South Wales there in your spine. It's just not quite gelling. Like Cleary's been really quiet. 2 line breaks from the Kangaroo spine that consists of Reece Walsh, who's just won a grand final, Munster, who's just lost a grand final, Cleary, who just lost in a prelim, has won 4 premierships in a row, New South Wales halfback, and Harry Grant, who is the Queensland number 9 and lost in a grand final as well. For them to have 2 line breaks together as a team, you can just tell it's just not quite clicking at the moment. Whether that happens this weekend, I'm not sure. The weather didn't really play a part, in my opinion. I really expected the Kangaroos, with an Australian ref and faster play to ball speed too, I thought they were going to score 30 plus this weekend. I thought they were going to combine a lot better. I thought last week was kind of just like the warm-up game, getting ready, but nope. They looked pretty average out there, I thought. Average play to ball speed, 3.85 seconds this week compared to 4.12. So I know it's only a quarter of a second, but a lot better. Obviously, Australian ref does help that. And you could tell by that early on, literally the first set of the game, Australia got a penalty for England slowing down the ruck. But like 8 offloads, like not many passes. Thought the kicking game was okay, not too bad. Obviously, Cleary had a 40-20 there in the first half, which was just class, by the way. It was super easy. Just looks like they're sort of not really grubbering into the in goal because it's a bit shorter. What I do want to say, the lines obviously on the pitch were hardly there. I get it, it's a soccer field. I get it, but come on, man, we're playing the Ashes here. At least have a really good 20-meter line and a 40-meter line where we can see the 40-20s happen. Defensively, I get it. They kept England to no tries, only 4 points, but for them to have, 49 missed tackles? I think last week they had a very similar amount. They had 38 missed tackles last week, so even worse this week. It was I don't know. Like, I straight up feel like, without any bias, I feel like the Kiwis would beat them tomorrow. I feel like if these 2 teams, where they played in Australia, New Zealand, or even play neutral ground in England, I feel like New Zealand would beat them at the moment. 15 errors, conceded 9 penalties, 4 6-agains, 2 sin-bins. Obviously, Reece Walsh had that sin-bin. I will say, I don't think that was a sin-bin. Like, come on, guys. Like, one thing I really did like was there was a video ref called, and I forget which play it was, but I remember the ref saying, Oh, sorry, it was a Munster try, and it went to the video ref because Munster sort of slid over the line with momentum. It was obviously awarded in the end, and they were starting to really slow it down. And frame by frame, I was like, "Come on, this is not double movement. Like the pitch is a little bit moist." He's got over with momentum. Clearly, he was running hard at the line. He's gotten over with momentum, and they were starting to slow it down. And then the video ref, had some common sense in the bunker. Thank fuck. And he said, "Look, play it in fast time and normal time. He goes over with momentum." And then I was just like, hallelujah. Like, I feel like we just don't see that in the NRL where an NRL ref says, no, play it in normal time. That's how the game is played. That's how we'll award it. I feel like so often in the bunker, it's frame by frame. And that's how we get like the little bit of separation with your groundings and like your obstruction calls and that sort of thing. And I was just like, thank heavens we've had a call like that where they decide to play in real time for your momentum. And then that happened where there was a contested kick kind of thing. Dom Young was going for it in the corner. Reece Walsh screams across, jumps in the air, kind of takes Dom Young out in the air. Like, Reece Walsh is just either trying to make a tackle or he's trying to get at the ball, right? Like, it's no foul play whatsoever. Like, in no world was, like, Reece Walsh jumping in the air to sort of target Dom Young in the air and take him out. Like, play it in fast time, guys. Come on, like, what are you meant to do mid-air in a situation like that? He's trying to stop a try, and it's just like, to go from that where I was so positive and I was so happy about that to that where he got Simbin for it, I was like, come on, guys. Like, is this really the game we want to play in the Ashes here? And then it just felt like some of the other calls were let off. And it's just, I don't know, not the best reffing in the world, in my opinion there. I thought the video ref, I just gave him some praise, but I thought he was brutal. Just some shockers, I thought. I think his name was Jack Smith. I don't think he's in the NRL, but man, there was some brutal calls, I thought. It just overall wasn't a very great game. I expected way better from these two teams. 26 errors altogether, 15 penalties, 7-6 against. Like, that's a lot of whistle blowing going on, a lot of drop ball. Harry Grant, like, we don't see... I think he had 2 passes inside their own 20-metre line when they're on good attack. Straight out of dummy half, forward pass. When the fuck do you see that out of Harry Grant? I was just like so bamboozled. I was just like, I don't know whether like the first couple minutes, like them getting in his face really kind of startled him a bit. I was really disappointed by Harry Grant, honestly. I get it. They got the job done, but I'll be interested to see if he does end up playing game 3 or they start Blake Brayley. I get it. He gets the job done. Like, he made 42 tackles, but in regards to actually, he had 4 runs, 34 meters. I get it. He's a number 9, but just not a lot of stuff. Like, where are we? Tackles made. Just while I try and find it for you. 42 tackles, 6 missed tackles from Harry Grant. You just don't see that too often. Like, look at the list of these, like, in their forward pack. Like the back line wasn't too bad. Like, Reece missed 1, Mark missed 1, Staggs missed 3, Shibasaki missed 4. Fox was like the only one in the whole team to not miss a tackle, apart from Chloe Matangi. Munster missed 5, Cleary missed 5, Collins only missed 1. I thought he was quite solid. Grant missed 6, Tino missed 3. Angus Crichton missed 5. Hudson Young missed 8. Paddy Carrigan missed 2. Tom Dearden 1. Lindsay Smith 1. Ruben Cotter 3. Just like pretty blasé defense where they've just like sort of tuned off since the season's finished, where they're just sort of a bit fatigued. I don't know what's going on there. Hudson Young, 8 missed tackles, 35 out of 35. I get it. He is playing on the other side that he's not used to, but 77.78% tackle efficiency. That is just not good enough. Hudson Young, I get it. He scored a try, had 5 tackle breaks, but like 14 runs, 132 meters. He was quite solid, not too bad. He ran a couple good lines, but geez, the defense on either side was just really poor. And I thought England just didn't really do enough to sort of exploit that. I thought, I get it, Tino went in the bin, but I thought the forward pack from Australia was a bit meh. Just a bit meh. Like, as we look at I think they had 10 less meters than they did last week per set, which is a lot. It's a lot, right? Like, that's a big difference between putting in an attacking kick and not putting in an attacking kick. Just, I don't know what to think of this Kangaroos team because they've only played 2 games together all year. I'll be saying completely different things if they win this weekend by 30, or I'll be saying I'm not surprised if they end up potentially losing this weekend, or if it's closer than 10 points once again. I just don't know what to think. It's just a bit, I don't know. I don't know if any of these sort of Kangaroos players, especially in the forwards, have that sort of dog in them, have that aura about them where they can take on a team. And this England forward pack, I thought they were better than Aussies, and it was complete opposite last week. But if Kangaroos, as I said, they played like New Zealand or they played Tonga tomorrow, it'd be very, very interesting forward pack battle between these two teams. Like, you think New Zealand, the Kiwis, have got Leota, they got Fish, they got Tarpany. Tonga, you got AFB. Samoa, you've got Payne Haas. Like, there's all these dogs in his forward packs in the Islander teams, but like, is Tino a dog? He gets Sinbin. Like, is Kolo and Tangi a dog in this team? I don't quite know. Like, Keon didn't even start. Like, I really rate Ruben Cotter. I think he's an absolute animal, but Pat Garrigan, is he sort of that type of guy? Lindsay Smith isn't really that type of guy. Really interesting. So the World Cup next year is going to be awesome, right? Like, it's sort of setting up now where it's really even. I'm going to really try and see as quick as I can to find the odds for this World Cup next year. Give me, let's see, 5 seconds. There's not even odds up next year. Go me. I'd say Aussie are definitely huge favourites to win that one, of course, to go back to back to back. But yeah, would not sort of shock me if something happened next year unless Aussies get to act together. I think Munster and Cleary have to be your halves, but Munster and Cleary at the moment don't look like they're really linking well together. I do want to give a shout out to Munster. Bog, best on ground, man of the match. He was really good. He definitely was the best player for Australia in this team. Scored a really good try, nice individual effort by him. Just a sort of a typical Munster try, you feel like, where he goes down the short side, he asks for the ball, he sees a bit of space, and he just backs himself and he just goes for it. And he got over the line with momentum. I feel like that's sort of his fullback sort of style where he's used to that. 15 runs, 141 metres, 54 post contact. Obviously had a line break, had a line break assist as well. 4 tackle breaks in there. He was really good. He was really good last weekend as well. At the moment, he would be probably my man of the series, I'd say, at the moment. That's what Angus Crichton. He did get a double the week before, so he was probably a little bit quiet as well. Reece Walsh, he was really quiet as well. Obviously, he got 10 in the bin. He had 8 runs, 70 metres. I get it. Meterage isn't a massive thing for him. Only 3 tackle breaks, no line break assists. Massive difference compared to last week. He only had to make 1 tackle, which is really insane. That was a really good tackle as well on Dom Young. Marky Mark, I get it. This guy is such a special player, right? Like, such a special player, but hold on to the ball, son. He had some really good, open pasture, but hold on to the ball, son. He's just sort of looking for these miracle plays, it feels like, every single time he gets the ball. And he lost possession a couple times. He definitely threw a couple intercepts, it seems like, for sure. I'm just seeing, it says there's got 1 intercept on there. Just felt like he has sort of had a couple drop balls as well. Just unnecessary situations where he didn't need to pass or offload it. Just take the tackle, son. Early on in tackle, you don't need to give possession away. Put some pressure on. He's obviously such a freak, right? It's kind of a shame he's going back to rugby union in 2027. Obviously, he's going there for the World Cup. Whether he comes back the year after, I'm not sure. I think it seems like he's kind of a rugby union guy. But essentially, after his first full year in the NRL, he's such a talented athlete, just super talented. I'd like to see Bradman Best come in for this third test for whether it's Shibasaki. Should be if he's playing on the left. I'd like to see Blake Brayley come in. Jacob Preston for sure. Jacob Preston, I want to see him coming for Hudson Young. I think he really deserves his chance. Maybe Ethan Strange off the bench. Switch it up. Just see what you're going to have. Maybe like World Cup combos, that sort of thing. They definitely should be looking ahead to this World Cup for sure. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this team looks like come World Cup. But at the moment, I would be like, based on the results this weekend, I think New Zealand would beat the Kangaroos. I honestly do think that. I think Samoa would give them a bloody red hot crack as well. So that is the second test of the Ashes. That is my review for that game. Playing in Liverpool. They play next weekend at Headingley. That'll be a pretty late kickoff once again here in Australia. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, 12:30 again here in Queensland. Brutal. Bloody hell. I'm expecting England to get up for that. I think the line is 15.5 for that one. And get it, both teams will make some changes, but I think England will take a lot of pride into this one. Don't want to let the home crowd down. They've been really nice and vocal, really good. You can just tell from these 3 test matches that happened over the weekend how much international footy still means to these fans, even though the NRL season is done. Absolutely packed out the crowds in England and New Zealand. It was just so good to see. We need more international footy. Come on, Volandis, we need more internationals. But we'll cross over now to the Pacific Championships, and let's start with the first game. Let's start with the first game of the day, and that is the Kiwi Ferns against the Jillaroos. So this was a double header at Eden Park. So still a good attendance for this game before the main game. They had 20,000 there, which is really good to see. Good weather for this game. What a tightly fought contest. Jillaroos getting to win 10-4 against the Kiwi Ferns in this one. What an absolute battle between these two teams. I have no doubt these two sides will play each other in the World Cup final next year. And it was just awesome to see. 6-0 at halftime to the Jillaroos in this one here. I want to give a shout out. This is my Women's Player of the Week. We're going back to Rugby League for my Women's Player of the Week. And this lady, she is the Eels fullback at the moment. She was a late switch for the star fullback, Tamika Upton. She was a late rule out due to a tight calf. I think she'll be right for next week. It's just a bit more of a monitoring thing. Stepped in late for her debut. Her debut for the Jillaroos at fullback, which is so good. She had 17 runs, 197 meters, the most for the Jillaroos. She had 54 post-contact meters. She scored basically the winning try in the second half for the Jillaroos in this one. 1 line break assist, 1 try assist as well for Jess Surgis as well. Involved in both tries here. Just an absolute clinical performance by Abby Church. Absolute star of the Parramatta Eels and absolute star of the Jillaroos. Just unreal performance in her debut. She would have had so much pressure in another country as well, and for her to take this game on was just absolutely unreal. So happy for Abby. She gets my Women's Player of the Week for the Scooshy Sports Podcast. Massive shout out to Abby Church, the fullback for the Jillaroos. All right, let's get into it. And I want to start off with the Kiwi Ferns. They put up a very solid effort, I thought, defensively in this game, but just couldn't quite get the chocolates in this one hit. Such a good battle, though. It's just hard to sort of discredit how this game was because both teams absolutely ripped in this one here. Very sort of even game. I thought the Kiwi Ferns should have shot themselves in the foot a little bit. Completion rate, 25 out of 37, 67% completion rate. It's hard to beat a team like Australia who's coming off that slacking last week against Samoa to win against a team like that when you're only going 67% and the Jillaroos are going only at 80%. 35 missed tackles as well. That was probably a massive key difference here. They scored an awesome try to get it back to 10-4, but just couldn't quite take advantage of the opportunities. 3 forced dropouts, just couldn't quite take advantage, and a little bit of a shame to see. They'll take it on the chin. The only try was coming to Anessa Biddle, which I thought was a really good try. That was a really good sort of line break made by her, which is really cool to see. Melaher Funga, I thought she was really strong. She's been immense in this last half of the season for pretty much all year for the Broncos, and also the Kiwi Ferns. She got man of the match, I believe, a couple weeks ago in their first match, and now she's backed it up against the Jillaroos. She is playing some awesome footy at the moment. Appy Nichols, I thought she was really solid at the back. just a really good game, I thought. Overall, I thought, let's have a look at the forwards and how they went. All right, so Angelina, I'm about to botch that name. Sorry, I won't try and pronounce it. 12 runs, 95 meters in the middle there. Tiana Davison, 8 runs, 62 meters. Not a bad effort there. Georgia Hale was awesome. 9 runs for 100 meters in this one here. So really quality game between the two best sides in the world. It was pretty clear to see that, in my opinion, there. Aussie tries coming from Jess Surgis and then Abby Church, obviously. Jess Surgis for the Kangaroos. She was absolutely so good as well. I don't think she should have scored that try. I think she probably should have got tackled, but just immense strength showed by Jess Surgis to get the ball down in that one there. Obviously had a line break, 7 tackle breaks. She probably had about 4 in that try that she had. Really strong performance. Another one, probably my favorite player in all of the NRLW and Women's Rugby League, and that is Julia Robinson. She debuted for the Jillaroos last week on the wing. She's usually a centre. Obviously, you got some class centres for the Jillaroos. She had, again, 19 runs, 196 metres, nearly 200. She clocks up nearly 200 every week. Playing on the wing as well, 71 post-contact metres. She is absolutely immense. She is just so bloody good to watch. She's strong. She's got really good upper body and leg strength. 2 tackle breaks. She's such a good watch. She just runs hard every single time she gets the fucking ball. And you just love to see it. You just absolutely love to see it. Penatani Gray, really solid 12 runs, 114 metres. Isabel Kelly as well in the centre, 16 runs, 182 metres. The star centre for the Roosters. She was really solid as well. But these two teams, they play each other again next weekend, as well at CommBank as well. If you can get down for the double header, please get down there. It's going to be absolute unreal match. 12:30 kickoff, so 1:30 local here. 1:30 local in Sydney, sorry. That'll be 3:30 in Sydney. Let me just quickly check what the line is at the moment. Really quickly. Australia, 13.5 point favourites. Wow, that is a big one. Whether Australia sort of click, I say Tamika Upton will be back. Kind of back New Zealand in that spot there, all honestly. Covered last week. Why can't they do it again? Let's go Kiwi Ferns. All right, and before I get on to the New Zealand and Tonga match, just want to give a quick shout out to the PNG Cornwalls playing the other Pac Championship match in the sort of like the lower bowl. They absolutely spanked Fiji. Absolutely spanked Fiji in Port Moresby. 50. Put a 50 burger on them. 50-18. They absolutely killed them. 30-6 up at halftime. Just tries to tries to 8 different players in this one here. Reece Martin went 8 for 8 conversions and also a penalty goal. Just absolute clinic. Honestly, it's just a demolishing. It was 30-0 at one point. 36 at halftime. Fiji scored after halftime to somewhat make it interesting with Katoga. He scored a double, but too little, too late. Just PNG absolutely ran all over them. This one was a pick 'em odds. PNG were $1.90 to win at home soil, and they won by 32. Very, very impressive performance by PNG there. All right, let's get into the second match of the Pac Championships, and that was the Kiwis and the Tonga. Absolute immense crowd. I was expecting, we got 30,000 Tongan fans out of 40k at Eden Park. It's just so much red there. It was insane. This team means so much to this country, and they always turn out. It is so good to see. This line was close, 7.5, minus 7.5 to the Kiwis, guys. I was actually on Tonga. I sprinkled a bit of money on them. I expected a way better effort. Way better effort. After last week, they got smashed against Samoa. And to get smashed against New Zealand this week was pretty darn disappointing, if I'm being completely truthful. They had a tight battle at the start. I think New Zealand forwards sort of got ahead of them early on in the forward battle, but Tonga, 18th minute, put up an attacking kick, and it gets fielded by, Kiana Kinney, honestly. And he takes a hit up, and then there was one more hit up, I believe. I'm not sure who it was to. And then it goes left. Keanu Keeney gets a 2-on-1 with Casey McLean. Casey McLean goes down the wing inside to Keanu Keeney, and he goes under the sticks. And what I will say, it is so good to see Keanu Keeney playing footy again at fullback in a starting role. Oh my God, he is just so fucking gifted. He is easily the number 1 fullback for the Titans next year if he's healthy. What a talent. So good to see him flying on the field once again. He was a late change into this team. He was the number 20, so Chance Nickel Clocksup was starting at fullback originally. I believe Seb Chris was the late change out for this team here. And then that meant Keanu Keeney came into fullback. Chance went into the centers. Casey McLean went onto the wing. It was just such a good performance, like so clinical. After the 18th minute, they put on essentially 4 tries in 20 minutes. It was 24-2 at halftime. 24-2, absolutely blew him out of the water. Dylan Brown, man of the match in this one, pretty sure. Bog, best on ground. Absolutely love saying Bog. He's looking great out there. He has looked so good. He looked really good against Samara as well. And this is really exciting for Knights fans. Obviously, he's on this huge contract, $15 million for 10 years. Whether he's playing really well because he's got obviously a star-studded team around him, he may struggle a little bit more with Newcastle next year. But if you're a Newcastle Knights fan, you have a lot to be looked forward to next year. This is the way that Dylan Brown plays and controls a game. Holy dooly, it's so good to see him running the ball, asking for the ball, getting involved. He has so much input into a lot of these New Zealand tries. Scored a double himself. Let me just run through the stats for Dylan Brown. So I've said 2 tries, 13 runs, 122 meters, 50 post contact, 1 line break assist, 2 try assists. So there you go. He had involvement in 4 of the 7 Kiwi tries. He was just so good for the Kiwis in this one here. Pretty sure he had another involvement as well. I'm just not quite sure. Back to Keanu Keeney as well. 200 run meters as well. He was just absolute on fucking fire. Like most of the Kiwis. Probably the best Kiwi first half I've seen them play. Gosh, feels like ever, maybe. Maybe apart from that World Cup final, fucking 17 years ago. But so good from the Kiwis. So good. Absolute blew Tonga off the park. Tries to Keeney, Dylan Brown, McLean, Timoko scored as well. Chan scored in the second half. And then Phoenix Crossland finished it off as well. All round clinical performance here by the Kiwis. The only bludge I'd say would be Aaron Clark getting sin-bin right on halftime, which was a fair call, holding him down until halftime. Can't do that, pal. Sorry to say. Fair call. But even again, Tonga did not take advantage when they were 13-12. I think the scoreline was ended up being 6-2 during that. Dimitri Faimunga up the wires, by the way, scoring pretty much the only Tonga try. Tupou scored 1 right at the end for consolation, but not a lot going on here for Tonga, but as I said, it was all about the Kiwis in this one. Casey McLean, this guy is a teenager. When does this guy turn 20? Because this guy is just absolutely insane. Born in 2006. He doesn't turn 20 until 24th of April. Are you kidding? He's going to be around this footy game for the next, easily 10, 11, 12 years. If he stays at Penrith, holy dooly, he's going to be such a key factor into this team. A late switch to the wing, 17 runs, 183 meters. I get it, one of those was for the long run. 3 line breaks, 2 try assists, 4 tackle breaks. Just crazy. What a big one hit, 2.92 second play the ball speed. That is just... yeah, that's clinical. Absolute clinical performance. There wasn't too many sort of bludger performances from the Kiwis in this one here. Shout out to Tamara Mann. I think that was his debut for the Kiwis as well, coming off the bench, which is good to see. He played 20 minutes up the wires. But it's just so stacked. Nafahu fucking White. My goodness gracious me. If his year wasn't good enough already with the Roosters, holy dooly, he took it up another level with the Kiwis this weekend gone. He played 55 minutes off the bench. Did he play off the bench? So yeah, he did play off the bench. 15 runs, 192 meters, 79 post contact out of 192. Are you kidding? One line break where he just busted off a couple and ran straight through. 7 fucking tackle breaks. What a machine. He's just so good. He's such a clinical part of this Roosters team. He had such a breakout year, and he just took it up another notch for the Kiwis in this one here. So good. 19 tackles, 1 missed. Unreal. Absolutely unbloody real. Brendan Nickera, 24 tackles, no missed. Joe Tami, 27 tackles, 2 missed. So good. Tim McCall. I gave Tim McCall, I feel like, a bit of a bath early on when I started doing my podcast. When he came up against McLean in that Raiders and Panthers game where the Raiders had that miracle of Mudgee, McLean absolutely gave him bath that game. And defensively, I've worried about Tim McCall, especially when it came to the finals. I believe Shibasaki gave him a bit of a bath in that final. 13 tackles, 1 missed. Which is really good to see. Really good to see for Timoko. Hopefully he gets a little bit of a confidence boost from that one there. But all around, such a good performance by the Kiwis. I hope they can take this momentum into next week against Samoa. At the moment, they are 2.5-point favourites in that one there. Very similar line to what it was about 3 weeks ago now, or 2 weeks ago now. The only bludger I'd say was probably Eric Clark, who, as I said, he copped that sin bin. He ended up playing, how many minutes? He had played 36 minutes. Still running for 132 meters. He's just, well, how many? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Kiwis ran for over 100 meters in this game here. Just absolutely kicked their ass. You do love to see it. 58% possession. They had the ball for 8 minutes more than Tonga did. 74% completion rate. Tonga 62%. Hard to win a footy game when you've got 14 errors. Nearly 2,000 meters ran compared to not even 1,200 for Tonga. 740 post contact. 10 line breaks. Tonga had 63 missed tackles. 51 meters average set distance. 51. Tonga had 31. 20 meters difference in the average set distance. Crazy. Absolutely crazy difference. Just stupid. Stupid amount. And just Tonga had to work so much. 63 missed tackles of Tonga compared to 26. Like, all round, it's just, like, New Zealand absolutely kicked their ass. They'll take a lot of confidence. They can back this up with the World Cup next year. Holy Julie, let's get ready for a ripping World Cup, because New Zealand, Samoa, they're going to be hot on Australia's heels. One of these teams will most likely play Australia in a semi. Holy Julie, it's going to be absolute unreal viewing, and then potentially in the final as well. Going with the Tonga, as I said, very disappointing. Not a lot was happening in this one here. There was sort of, once they conceded that first try, it felt like they were really on the back foot here. They pretty much ran at, who did they run at most of the line? I believe they ran at Iongi for most of the night in this one here. How many? He made 29 tackles. He made this almost two players in Tonga made, three made 30 plus tackles, and he had 29. He had 9 missed tackles. So they're obviously, being a fullback, now he's in the front line. They obviously just ran at him all night long. 29 tackles, 9 missed. That's just brutal. Kind of not his fault in a way. He's a fullback for a reason. His tackling's not as good. I forgot to mention Eli Katoa. I hope he's okay, man. Apparently he has to get sort of brain surgery or something like that. He had 3 HIAs or something, including 1 in the warm-up. Why the hell he was allowed to keep playing, I will never know. Something NRL really needs to investigate. Otherwise, they will get in big trouble. He was absolutely gone skis in this game. He played one half. He was lucky to play one half. Copped an absolute battering. So, Eli Katoa, hope he's okay. He's an elite player for the Storm. Never see where he's playing for another country, another team that I don't like. Never like to see a player sort of suffering like that and getting brain injuries from the game that we all love. He's just, you could tell he's off, like 18 tackles and 7 missed. That is just so unlike Ellie. It was clearly something up. But just really odd. Jason Tamalolo, 13 tackles, 8 missed tackles. Like, what is going on there? Just really unusual performances by this Tonga team. Really didn't expect to see it coming. I thought they would put in a big effort considering it was essentially almost a home game for this team. Paul Alamotti, he played center. Like, is he really like the best option that they've got at center? I get Daniel Tupou. You've got Sione Katoa. I would put Sione Katoa, I don't know, maybe not playing. I think Alamotti's a winger more than he is a center, but yeah, see what happens with this Tonga team. Obviously, I say Katoa, he's going to be better next time Tonga play, which is probably going to come the World Cup next year. But maybe the only standout was, I guess, Adam Fanua-Blake, 11 runs, 115 metres, but not a whole lot going on really for this Tonga team. And they were awful last week as well. Whether he sort of just brushed it off, whether, I don't know, Leka didn't even play in this game, which is disappointing. I thought he was awesome last week for Tonga in a losing performance. Like, Fine Fuiaki played 80 minutes. Like, call me a homer, but I think Leka's very much on par, if not better than a guy like Fine Fuiaki. Yeah, I don't know what to think of that one. Kiwis absolutely blew him out. It was game over at halftime, and yeah, that's all she wrote pretty much. Kiwis play Samoa next week now. Let me just confirm that time. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So 4 o'clock kickoff in Sydney. As said, New Zealand, 2.5 point favourite. That is going to be an absolute blockbuster. I cannot wait. Should be mostly a Samoan home crowd, I'd say. You got guys like James Fisher-Harris coming up against Payne Haas. You got Jerome Luai against sort of Kieran Foran and Dylan Brown. You've got some epic battles in this game next week. Cannot wait to watch that one. But that will do it for your review this weekend, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to give me a like and subscribe. Follow me on my socials at Squishy Sports for keeping up to date with my reels, everything that I do. I was tweeting during the Kangaroos game, just my general thoughts. It was really good to sort of interact, that sort of thing. Obviously, I've got my sports review or sports report coming out tomorrow for you guys as well. And also my Red Zone report is on Thursday, NFL Week 10 preview. I will be here next Tuesday or next Monday night for me, reviewing the last round of Pacific Champs, men's and women's, and also the finale of the Ashes. Kangaroos, too good once again, winning that one 14-4. As I said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been me, Squishy Sports. I will see you next week and tomorrow for more. And cheers.